Hey guys, it's Derica with Derica's Designs, and today we are going to make this cute little simple fun Christmas penguin here. I wanted a big fat chunky penguin, so that's what we made. And of course added little earmuffs because initially you could also add like a Santa hat or something else that might go with the theme that you're looking for. But I hadn't done one with little earmuffs, and I thought that was just a cute, fun little idea to put on there. Now, I'm using a red and pink and lime green kind of fabric on here, but I'm going to show you two different ways how to do the scarf. You can definitely just use a roll of ribbon, like a 1.5 inch. So you don't have to buy fabrics unless that's the color that you want, but you could easily just use ribbon if that's what you have on hand. So this is just a fun, simple, easy little pattern. So here, let's move it over here out of the way. And I feel like no matter what level of attachment making you're at, this one is just cute and, fairly easy to make. All right, so we're going to start it with our one piece of foam board. It's all we have is the one piece, which is odd. Hold on, let me get my mess over here. The rest of the penguin we're doing in poster board. And the reason I've swapped to poster board here in the past few months is I used to always just use foam board on the feet, on the wings, anything that was attached to the main body, I used foam board. But what you ended up with was this thick back pieces that jutted out. And when you use the poster board, it lays so much more flat and it just looks neater on the back. Now, if you want to go back and cover the back of everything, you can. Just get a piece of maybe a black scrap felt and just glue it all on there, and then you can just trim it, But I choose not to cover the back. I really don't feel like that's super, super important. But if you do, absolutely. Most people, when they get these, they just stick them right in a wreath and nobody sees the back anyway. So for me, it's not a deal breaker on an attachment. So, but again, that's personal choice. And I tend to be more lax and lenient. And, I'm not trying to push my bad habits off on anybody, but I just don't feel it's necessary, especially when the back is neat like this. I really don't think anybody who purchases an attachment is going to be put off by this. Like they're going to say, oh, they didn't finish the back, So, but if you want to finish the back, make sure you cut double the amount of wings so that you have the black pieces here. You just want to cut double of everything except for the white piece, because, this, if you cut 2 of these, you can do that. And then you can cover the backs of the wings as you make them. So the front and the back is covered as you make it. And then you glue it onto here. So totally up to you. I've never covered the back. On occasion, I will. Just depends on if I have some scrap fabric laying around. I just don't feel like for me, I just don't feel like it's necessary. All right, so I'm going to add some quilt batting to our body piece here. I have a little spot here that didn't get covered. So what I do with that, I just cut off a little piece and just shove it on there. Just kind of piece it together. It's no big deal. Once you cover this with fabric, nobody's going to know that you had that little section there pieced together. And then we just cut it off all the way around. Just like that. And then as always, we start with doing our main body piece. We're going to cover this with a black fabric. It does not have to be felt. If you have fleece, use fleece. If you have like a black Sherpa, use Sherpa. Sherpa would be really cute on the penguin. If you want to use like a furry fabric, you can use fur. This is one of those patterns. It really doesn't matter as long, it's a penguin. So I'm thinking as long as it's black and white, it won't look odd. But I have seen people do blue and pink penguins, and that's cute. I don't know, maybe I'm not on board with it, but it's still cute. If you wanted to do a like a baby blue penguin with pink accents, it works. You know, the pastels for holidays are so popular, so don't knock it till you try it, I guess. I don't know, maybe if you know your customers and they love pastel stuff, then try it out. I mean, the worst you're out is a little bit of time and, you know, a couple dollars worth of fabric. So, I don't know. I feel like when I'm making attachments, I want to make them in all the different colors just to see which one really, you know, my customers really go for, or my students really want to learn. I never ever say to anybody that you have to make things exactly the way I do. In fact, I encourage you not to. I encourage you to use your creativity and just have fun with it and do the colors you want to do. I mean, the pattern really can't be altered too much, but colors and fabrics and trims and ribbons and all that stuff, have fun with it. Go do whatever you want to do with it. Make it yours. I would be hesitant to make the penguin anything but black and white, but again, until I try it, I might like a pastel blue and pink penguin. I don't know. It's just not something that I associate with. Oops. Okay, so we just folded all of that fabric around the back side like this, and I'm just making sure everything is going to stick down like that. Okay. Now, if you wanted to now, you could go ahead and put the second piece on and cover this. It's totally up to you. You cover each piece as you go. If you are really wanting this covered on the back, cover each piece as you make it. Just you're going to have to cut double of everything, okay? That's not part of the pattern, so you just have to know to do that. But I would definitely cover this back, and then that way when you glue on the feet and the wings to the back side, it's already covered. So it makes it really easy. Okay, we have that done. So now we're just going to start covering all of our other little pieces. These are the wing pieces. Now be very, you know, I always try to remind you guys, make sure you're doing a left and a right. You've got to have mirror images, right? You have to do a left and a right. And this one, we don't put quilt batting or anything on them because they're just little flappy wings. So I'm going to glue this piece directly to the felt. Just, oops, that one's very crooked. Just like that. And then, of course, just to hide that white edge, we have to fold everything around it. Just go around, just hold it for a second, let it get a hold, cool off for you. And I just, on these little edges where these little pieces are going to stick up, just snip them off so it lays flat. Again, if you're worried about covering the back, get your second piece of black felt and go ahead and glue it on here, flip it over, and then trim off all the excess, okay? Totally up to you. Oops. This is one of those really quick, kind of easy. You can make the theme of this little penguin whatever. It does not have to be pink and red and candy. You can make it traditional green. Just whatever theme that you have going in your mind, or maybe whatever fabric for the scarf or ribbon for the scarf that you want to use. You can make him blue with snowflakes. You can make him anything you want. So just use what you have on hand. And he's cute in any color combination. So, but now these 2 1/4 inch pom-poms only come in pink and white now, maybe black. I don't know. I haven't bought a black one in a while. So that's all that Hobby Lobby sells now is those few colors, but they do have a 2 inch. That's just a little bit smaller than this one that they sell in way more colors. So you can go and look at Hobby Lobby and get all the, like I said, it'll just be the slightest bit smaller than these, because these are 2.5, I think, or 2 1/4, something like that. And then they have a 2 inch. It's not a huge difference. Like, it's not going to be so noticeable. But if you can't find the color you want in the big one, because they've only got 3 colors now, then look at the next size down. It'll be fine. It'll look fine. So, let me get my little feet. Now this color, it's not really a yellow. It's not really an orange. It's called goldenrod. And this was a felt sheet that I got at Hobby Lobby. It's just got that yellowy orangish. So when I did the supply list, you can use regular yellow, you can use orange, you can use whatever color you want. But because I honestly don't know if Hobby Lobby still has the goldenrod. I can't tell you. A lot of this stuff I used to buy by the case years ago, and I did a fall project. So I have every pumpkin, goldenrod, wheat. I have so many different fall colored felt sheets, and I just slowly start going through them. But that is where I got this. It is Hobby Lobby's goldenrod felt. And I like it. I like the, it's not pure yellow. It's not pure orange. It's just a mixture. So it's a very fall color. So I liked it. That's what it was sold for, as fall items. But that was years ago, and they keep changing what they carry, and I can't keep up with it all. But again, you can use yellow or orange, or I personally like the yellow feet and the orange beak, or vice versa, kind of get a little extra colors in there. It's kind of just to, add more to it. So it's not just black and white and yellow. But you just, you can make that. Just look in your little stash of things that you have and see what you have and see what you can use. I tend to overthink things like the different colors, and whereas most people are like, yeah, yellow's yellow, whatever. So I don't know, maybe most people don't really care, but I like this goldenrod to use on beaks and feet and things like that. Okay, so really all I'm doing is putting glue right along the edge of these on the little toes area. And then what I want to do is I want to grab in between those toes, and I want to pull that in there. I want to make sure that they're defined, that there's the little lumpy bumps are there for the toes, because otherwise it would just look like a paw, So you just tug on them a little bit, and it pull them into those little grooves. So that's why I do that part first. I tug it in there, and then I go around and I finish pulling the glue around like this. Just fold it, and again, let's trim off the little nubs that are sticking up a little higher. Okay, there's our little feet. And we won't move on to we'll do the scarf last, because again, I'm going to show you 2 different ways to do the scarf. This is a white felt that has glitter on it. I think You can find this still at Hobby Lobby. I think it's the only glittered felt that they make. And they used to sell black, red, green, and white, but now I think it's just white. Or maybe it's not at all anymore. I don't know. But you could just use regular white. Again, this is where I feel like if you wanted to use a white Sherpa, something with a little plush to it, it would look super cute. I love using different types of fabrics, but I know not everybody has access to that. So when I make my example and then do this tutorial, I want to use, you know, things that I know people have access to. So felt, of course, is universal. You can get it just about anywhere. So black and white felt, you can get it at Walmart if you can't get to a craft store. So I'm gluing this piece. It kind of looks like a bunny. Until you get it on there and put the beak on there and the eyes, it just looks like a little bunny on here, but it's not. It'll be a penguin. And I just add some glue, not too much, just kind of squiggle it. Make sure you get towards the edges. You know, that's the most important. And then just lay it down on there. Oop. I've got to fix this table thing. All right, the beak is just very simple. I was going to do something that was I'm sorry, I was going to do like 2 layers and stuff it with polyfill, but when I started making it, it just looked silly. So I just did 1 flat piece and it seemed to work better like that. Now these little eyes, they're called doll eyes on Amazon. And a lot of time you can find a kit, and usually it's the first, if you put in doll eyes or plastic doll eyes or something to that nature on Amazon, you can get a box that will have different sizes. And these are all safety back dies. So they do have a little thing that I cut off back here because you're supposed to put them into the doll or the stuffed animal and put the safety hold on back so that children can't bite them off and choke on them, right? So obviously we don't need to do that. So I cut the safety backing off of them. And depending on what size box you get, it might start at like a 5mm and go up to a 12mm. I don't know. You just have to figure out what size you want. Rule of thumb, 25mm is approximately 1 inch. 12mm is approximately 1/2 inch. These are right in the middle. I don't think these are 1/2. These are a 3/4. So these are probably 18mm. You can use any size you want. And if you don't want to buy a kit of doll eyes on Amazon, just use black felt or black paint or something. I mean, you can kind of do whatever you want when it comes to just a little black dot for the eyes. If you want to do a cute little black eye with some eyelashes coming off of it, like a little fake, like if you bought a pair of fake eyelashes, say from Dollar Tree, just cut off a little piece of it or half of it, and you can put little eyelashes along the edge. There's just so many different things you can do, but I am just going with him being wide-eyed. But you can just use black felt. A little circle of black felt will work. Make sure I get these even, close, like that. See, he started to look like a bunny, and then you add that, and suddenly he turns into a penguin. All right, oh, we're gonna do that. We have to put the scarf on first, so let's do that. Let me show you the different things I have for the scarf. Now you'll notice on the scarf pattern, and you're only gonna use this pattern if you are using fabric, okay? If you're using regular ribbon, you don't need this, all right? You don't need it at all. But because I didn't like the way the fabric looked on there, kind of, I don't know, I wanted it to be bunched up. So if you're using like a faux fur, then bunch it up and make it look like a scarf. But for him, I just decided to do a very flat, clean scarf. You don't have to. If you want your scarf to be like scrunchied and bunched up like this, you can cut it a little bit thicker, and you can have it on there, you know, all bunched up like that. It's a scarf, you know, it really doesn't matter. But this particular one that I'm going to show you, we're going to use a piece of the poster board again. It's cut down here, and I'll show you why. See on this one, I didn't cut that down, and it's the same width all the way. And it just didn't look right to me with the little button here. So I wanted to squinch it down so that the button covers all of that. Another OCD thing of mine, okay? So don't. Actually, on this one, because this one was flat, on this one, I'm going to put some quilt padding on it just for fun, just to see what it will look like. I like to experiment as we go here too. So we're just going to put some quilt padding just to give it a little body, kind of perk it up a little so it's not so flat. You don't have to. If you don't have quilt padding, it's fine, but let's try it. I mean, it never hurts to try something, right? And then if I don't like it, then I just tear the quilt batting right off. It's no big deal. All right, so now we have that little piece. We have our fabric. Like I said, if you're using a 1.5 inch ribbon, it's not going to be wide enough for this. You would have to have a 2.5 if you still wanted to use the poster board and the quilt batting with a roll of fabric, you would need a 2.5 inch fabric. Okay. Since that is just, for example, I'm just showing you how to do it both ways. So now I'm folding this fabric over. I really like using a sweater material, or I'm not even sure what you can buy, or like a Sherpa, something with a lot of plush on the scarves. Okay, so that's what it looks like. You can cover the very ends, but they're going to be folded around the back side, so it doesn't really matter. But this is how it would look on here, and then you would fold these around like that. And you see how this little part right here, when we go to add a decoration to it, now it'll cover it, and it'll look like there's a knot there. It'll look, because when you have a knot, everything gets smaller. So I liked it like that. Okay, so we'll set that right there. I'm not done with you yet. And then you would need tails, okay, because it's a scarf. You want little tails. Now, if you want to put little fringe on the end of this, you absolutely can. I'm just going to do two little pieces for tails, gluing it, directly to the fabric, and really quickly just go around it and secure it to the back side. There's lots of cute little trims you can buy at Hobby Lobby that are fringe. So depending on what color scheme you're going with, you can always look, and you would just need a tiny little piece. I know most of their trims come in 2 or 3 yard rolls, but that would give you plenty, for other projects if you bought one of those little rolls of the 2 to 3 yard fringe. There's some really cute ones. Okay, so they kind of look like that. So, and then what I do is I just kind of crisscross them. I'm going to make one a little bit longer than the other. So I am going to cut one shorter, just so I can, stagger them a little bit like that, so that one is shorter. And we'll put some glue on this one. I'll put this right there. And then I'm going to take some glue on the right where it gets the skinniest right there, and place it right on there. Hold that for a second. So you can see it very much looks like it's just a cute little scarf with a couple of tails. And if you want the tails longer, guys, you can make them longer. You don't have to follow the pattern. I just didn't want them too obnoxious. So that would go on here like this, and then I would take whatever decoration, whether it's a snowflake or just whatever you want on your little guide, little peppermint, whatever you want to put on there. And that would be glued on like that. Okay. So now if I was going to use regular ribbon, just a 1.5 inch ribbon without the poster board, I would just cut a piece that will go all the way across, and then I would cut another piece, and we would take this piece and fold it. Oops. I don't know if you can see. I'm just folding it so that both sides are up. So the right sides are up. So just like that. You can cut it into 2 pieces and then glue them together. But you know, when you have a scarf, you want one piece to be a little longer than the other, like that. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of glue under here. And I would glue this on. And what I would do is I would scrunch up this part right there. That's where I want this to go, like that. And then this would go to the back, that would go to the back. And then once again, you can put on any little decoration. This might be a little too big, but any kind of decoration you want on it. Let me try the snowflake, just like that. Okay, so at this point, you can decide how you want to make your scarf. I don't want you to have to run out and try to find fabric. You will not, I promise you, this Hobby Lobby fabric, you will not find it. It has been sold out online and in stores forever. If you do have a store that has some, well, then you must not have a lot of sewers in your area, because I got it in when they very first started putting out Christmas fabric. And let me tell you, it was, you know, gone like the next day if I would have gone back. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this one on because I like these colors better than the pink and the red. There's nothing wrong with the pink and the red. I just like the colors. So we're going to, I'm not going to put a ton of glue on this. I don't want it, like, it doesn't need to like really stick really hard. Just like that, kind of make it even. And then the little pieces, and there's poster board, you know, that's being folded around the back side. So take it like that, and then we just fold it over. And I'm going to use clamps because that really helps not to have to sit here and hold it. I'm just going to, when I glue it, I'm just going to clamp it down like that. Okay, and we'll glue this side. Like that. So we're just going to let that sit for a second. And then now these are the standard Hobby Lobby red and white twist pipe cleaners. I love these things. We use them for so many different things. They make a great trim that you can control and manipulate and move around, and it'll stay in place. And I like that. I mean, you could even use them as a trim along your scarf. You can cut them and make little fringes with them for the little tails of your scarf. There's just, you can do just about anything with them, but I used them to make the cute little earmuffs. Just such a simple, fun, easy design, you know? So you take your little pom-pom and you want to open it all the way up to the string. You'll see a string in there, or like right at the very core, the very center, okay? And then you're going to put some glue right in on top of that hole. Move this down. And you're going to stick it basically right on the side of the head, on the side. Not the front, but the side. So see how I'm kind of sandwiching the head with the pom-pom like that? Okay, so get the other one, open it up. Whenever you're gluing on pom-poms, you should always open it up. You should never put glue on the outside of your pom-pom. It's just going to turn into a mess. So open it up all the way to the string. Some glue in there. Oops, I closed it too soon. And then take it and squeeze it right on the side of the head like that. You can kind of push it forward, more forward than back if you want to, so that but really once it's stuck on there, it's going to be perfect. So it's going to look just like those. And then what I do is I'm going to open up again all the way to the string, kind of dig your fingers in there. I'm going to put some glue just on the end of this pipe cleaner. I'm going to stick it right inside that hole that I just created and pinch everything around it to hold it there for a second. Okay, and then I'm going to just decide, I think obviously it doesn't need to be that long, so I think I can cut off about right there. Get my wire cutters. So the pipe cleaners are always 12 inches long. It just didn't need the full 12 inches here. And now I'm going to open up this one all the way to the string. Put glue on the end of this all the way around. I just kind of swirl glue on the very end of the pipe cleaner. I'm going to stick it inside of that hole and pinch it down. So see how it's just barely sticking up over the head, just a little bit, not a lot. All right, these can come off now. All right, so now that we have the scarf on, we can go ahead and put our wings on. I'm going to figure out which way these go. They go like this, little flippers. So we'll get one on here. Just going to put glue right along that edge. You can always add more later, but just to get it where you want it, which is kind of lined up sort of right with the top of the scarf for the most part. And then just, I mean, you can have them going straight out. Well, you can't really, but you can have them going out if you want to, like that. But they should just lay down along the side. So here, just like that, just kind of eyeball it, make sure they look even. Like that one looks much lower. I like to use the grid. This one is just touching right there. Yep, they're in the same spot. So now you can kind of smush them down. Okay, get our little feet, same thing. Again, just a line of glue to start with to get it where you want it, and then you can always go back. Because the poster board is flexible, so you can always kind of bend it back a little and add a little more glue without, you know, ruining it pretty easily. There's our little feet. Just gonna hold it. Now, when you're looking for things that go on your little, like that you want to decorate with, I have things like this that came off of picks. That one's obviously way too large. This one's way, 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 way too large. But always look at the picks you have. Sometimes if you can just snip off one of your floral picks that you use for a wreath, and it looks cute. So put a little glue. I'm just using these, again, Hobby Lobby. I'm going to put it right there. I always like to have something on the knot right here. That's like the one decorative spot. But of course, you can always add tons more. If you want his little hand wing things to be holding some Christmas lights, you can do that. Just kind of glue the Christmas light and maybe put it up here around the scarf and then down to the other little, I keep wanting to say hands, but they're wings. So you can decorate them up. And if you wanted to put a trim around the white, you absolutely can. If you just wanted to highlight that white there. There's just a lot of different things you can do with a cute, fun little pattern like this. And because this is so lightweight and easy, I'm just going to use a cable tie mount or a zip tie mount, whatever you want to call it, on the back. The glue on these, that come on these, sticks to paper very well. You don't need hot glue or E6000 or super glue or any of that. It really does stick to paper. That's kind of what it's made for, I think. It does. I know a lot of you like to use it for signs and things that are maybe a little heavier or metal, and it doesn't want to stick to that, but it sticks to paper. Like if you waited 15 minutes and you tried to pull this off, you're going to end up with a giant hole in the middle where the foam and everything comes out. They're really strong. So the only difference between these two guys that I did was the scarf. This one gets skinnier right here to look more like a knot. And I did put some quilt batting in it to give it just a little bit of puffy, where this one is more flat and, you know, everything was just very uniform. So they're super cute. They're fun. I hope you guys will make these, and I can't wait to see all your little penguins running around this holiday season. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.